it's April and welcome to my toy world. Today we're going to be building a prehistoric animal diorama. Before we add our animals, let's go ahead and finish up our diorama. We have our volcano in the back. Let's add some rocks to our diorama. We'll add a tree. We'll add some red beads that look like lava coming off of our volcano. Here we have a fossil. We'll put that right here. We also have a boulder and a log. And we'll add some plants. We'll add some blue beads along this path here to make a river. We'll add some moss to our diorama. Over here by the fossil, some behind the boulder, some near the log, and some near our volcano. Next, we'll add some pieces of driftwood along the edge here where the ocean will be. And lastly, for our ocean, we'll add some blue pluffle all along the front here. And we'll spread it around to make our ocean. And now our diorama is ready for some prehistoric animals. Our first animal walking in is a woolly mammoth. Look at this large woolly mammoth with his tusks and his trunk. A lot like a modern-day elephant. This one is covered with hair, a woolly mammoth. There's another woolly mammoth. This one's a little bit smaller. A woolly mammoth. And here's another woolly mammoth. We'll put this one right behind this one here. And we have two baby woolly mammoths. This one and this one. We'll put this one right here near the big one. We'll put the smallest one near its mother back here. There are our woolly mammoths walking through our diorama. Next we have an interesting animal called a Deinonychus. You can see its feathers here, a long tail feather and a beak. A Deinonychus. You can see its claws here too. It's got a talon right there. Deinonychus. And we have a Shringosaurus. That looks like a prehistoric lizard here. You can see its two horns on its head. A Shringosaurus. This creature is called a Uintatherium. Look at the interesting shapes on its head here. A Uintatherium. Here's a flying prehistoric animal called an Archaeopteryx. This also has a long tail feather and wings here. An Archaeopteryx. This one will land up near our volcano. Here you can see our Archaeopteryx flying near the volcano. Here's another winged prehistoric creature. This is a Microraptor. Look at the Microraptor. We'll put this one also back near the volcano, perhaps on this side. Here we have a fun prehistoric creature called a giant sloth. Look at those claws on its hands here. A giant sloth. It also has long hair covering its body. We'll put the giant sloth back here. Here is a hyenodon. Look at its very sharp teeth. It's got stripes here. It looks like a very powerful prehistoric creature, a hyenodon. It will be walking over here. Here is a Megacerops. Look at this interesting shape on the front of its nose here. It looks very similar to a rhinoceros, a Megacerops. We'll put it right here. This is another unique prehistoric creature called a Macrauchenia. Look at its long snout here, and the interesting markings on its fur. A Macrauchenia. Here's a Doedicurus. You can see its armored shell here, and it's a very spiky tail. A Doedicurus. I think its face is pretty cute. Let's put that one right here. This is a prehistoric cave bear. Prehistoric cave bears were bigger than the bears that we have now. We'll put this cave bear at the base of our volcano. And this is a saber-toothed tiger. It's also a predator, just like our cave bear. Look at its very sharp, long teeth. A saber-toothed tiger. Next, we have a Daeodon. Look at this prehistoric creature. It also looks like it's a very powerful creature. The Daeodon is walking in the back right here. Here we have an Asteminosuchus. Look at the very interesting shapes here on its face. This is also a really unique prehistoric creature, an Asteminosuchus. Just like the woolly mammoth, this is a woolly rhinoceros. You can see that it's also covered in hair like the woolly mammoth. This also has a large horn here like a rhino. This is a woolly rhinoceros. It will be walking near the water. Now let's add some prehistoric creatures to our sea. This is an interesting creature called an Anomalocaris. This very interesting sea creature, a prehistoric sea creature called an Anomalocaris. We'll put it right down here. Here we have an ammonite. You can often find fossils of ammonite shells. This is what an ammonite looks like, swimming through the sea. We'll put it right here. Here's a Camarasaurus. Looks like a long shell here. Again, this is a prehistoric sea creature. A Camarasaurus. Put that right down here. Swimming in, we have an Ichthyosaurus. This almost looks like the same colors as an orca, but it is an Ichthyosaurus. Look at its pointy nose here. Have that swim right down here. And we have a trilobite, a prehistoric creature called a trilobite. You can also find fossils of trilobites. I'll put this one right back here on the edge of our water. This is a prehistoric fish called a Dunkleosteus. Look at its very sharp teeth here. A Dunkleosteus. Put this right over here. And our last prehistoric animal today who lives in the sea is a very large creature, a megalodon. It is a giant prehistoric shark called a megalodon. You can see its rows and rows of teeth, and it's a very, very large prehistoric shark, a megalodon. We'll put our megalodon right here in the middle. And those are all of the prehistoric creatures in our prehistoric diorama today. Let's go ahead now and take a close-up look. those were all of the prehistoric animals in our diorama today. I hope you enjoyed checking out all of these wonderful and interesting prehistoric creatures. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.